That's right. Welcome back, folks, to a Notre Dame lands 2027 quarterback prospect, Teddy Jarrard out of Georgia edition of the Always Irish Show. I should be careful, though. When I say land, it's a verbal commitment. And a long time away, given that he's the 27 class. We'll get into that. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or Always Irish 8. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it. Don't want to see my face? Who could blame you for that? Do the audio only if you want. Call in lines 312-988-15. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Start your day with some Notre Dame football talk. Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it. Articles every day. Patreon.com/alwaysirish. Oh, we had a good one the other day. Timmy Hyde came over. We went 2 hours long and strong. Him and Goolsby breaking down all the personnel, X's and O's, the new Ash defense, the wide receiver group, the quarterbacks, the O-line. We got it all covered, man. We had a great time over there. And don't forget about Jack Sullivan, ND Recruiting 01. Have a little fun. All right. Life and recruiting comes at you fast, doesn't it? Notre Dame spent most of the summer trying to lock in the 26 class. Then, boom, out comes Teddy Jarrard picking Notre Dame for 27. So we're getting ahead. I'm all worried about 26. We're getting ahead to 27. Really interesting to see Notre Dame head down south to SEC land and grab a verbal commitment here. 6'3", just under 200 pounds, 247 as him as a top 200 player overall, composite 4-star. And a guy that Notre Dame targeted and made a priority out of that 27 class. Here's the thing. And we talk about this on the morning show often. There are some question marks about the ceiling of Noah Grubbs, the 26 quarterback. I think the upside of Jarrard hopefully will make people feel better about that dynamic. It's just, and Goolsby will say, not every quarterback is recruited to be the all-star, number one top guy all the time. You need other guys too mixed in there. I just think that's hard for a fan base because you want the best guy every single year and then giving the next best guy the next year, right? It's hard for you to think that you need some of those guys for depth. And it's been a concern talked about with 26. I think Jarrard has a higher ceiling that we would all agree on. And maybe that makes people feel better. And they'll feel way better about it if whoever the starter is this year looks like they're going to have a run of multiple seasons there, building you a bridge and therefore some inherent flexibility. The kid could sling it, folks. And then here's something else that I always look at. If you don't like the star rankings, star ratings, how they calculate all that stuff, bias calculations, I don't understand it. All the different outlets have a different calculation to figure out what guy's better than another guy, but they're not playing games, so how do you know? And even when they are playing games, high school football, it varies so much where you're at in the country, the level of competition. It's hard to gauge all that. I don't understand how all these people are experts. Somebody could look at a kid and he's like a top 20 kid, and then other people don't have him in the top 100. And I'm like, who's right? I don't know. If you don't want to deal with all that, what I do is look at a kid's offer list. An offer list will tell me a lot about where the sport thinks the guy is, a lot more than a totally subjective ranking. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Clemson, Florida State, Miami. That's heavy competition for this guy when those schools want him. And I still go back to the Southern thing. A Southern quarterback, you're like Deuce style, right? Like you're going down there, the Deuce got loose. And so you got to make sure you don't end up in a similar spot recruiting a quarterback, landing him very early. Andy's from down south. He's in Kirby's backyard. That's the risk in all this is you're landing that guy that early. You just can't let that happen again. That all has to be over. That whole losing guys late in the cycle, it's got to be over, right? I do talk about this, though. You always have that concern of holding on to the guy. Quarterback is the most important individual position in all of sports. What I like about this is I like getting your quarterback in early in a class when he's highly regarded, because that could be your foundation for that class. That could be the anchor for that class that everything else grows around and from. And I don't care what the personality of the quarterback is. Quarterback's going to be a leader. They got to be a leader. By default, they're a leader. So I like the idea of getting a quarterback early in a cycle. That's your foundational piece. You could build around that guy. Maybe it entices some receivers at a different level to want to join him, play with them, whatever. It's just good to have the most important position checked off, and then you build around it. As long as you hold on to the guy. As long as you hold on to the guy. I mean, I see both sides of it. The getting a Southern quarterback early in SEC territory hasn't ended good for Notre Dame recently. But I also, if you said to me, Deuce is a one-off, there's some irony there. Deuce is a one-off. Every recruitment's different. Every kid's different. The things that they're considering when they're picking a school are different. And it's not fair of me to let what happened with Deuce, with a lot of these overlapping dynamics, affect how I'm looking at this. I understand that. And I'm not accusing this kid that he's going to do that or leverage Notre Dame for NIL, then bounce, whatever. I'm just saying you got to hold on to the guy. And it's just extra dangerous to me when it's SEC territory. And I know how vicious it is down there in the recruiting and the games that are played. It's just vicious. So you got to hold on to that guy. And then he could be the main tent post. And then you build the class around that guy. And I like that. Quarterback's always the leader. So really good job by Notre Dame checking a box there. And I think this will make some people that had Grubb's anxiety feel a lot better, knowing that Notre Dame had a guy they're targeting and they got him early and it worked out for now. That's got to make some people feel good that we're nervous about that dynamic. And then we see if you could hold on to them, build around them. And then let's not forget, there's still 26 guys to round this class out with. Golden, I don't know about that anymore. Pushing back that date doesn't feel good for Notre Dame. And then you got to hold on to the good pieces of that you do have. And there's still a handful of spots left in that class. So a lot of action. And what's going to happen here is it happens every year. All summer. It's recruiting. Right when you get in the season, you almost don't hear that much about recruiting till like December again. That's just the way it goes. You get distracted into the season. So couple more weeks recruiting heavy, you get into camp, and it's going to be all about Miami and on the field. It's a season wrapped in a season with that recruiting. So good pickup by Notre Dame. Foundational piece to the 27 class. Hold on to all these guys. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.